this is my son Troy, and he is an expensive baby. Okay? Give me this iPhone. Now, just to give you guys an idea of how expensive he can be, this is how many diapers he will go through in the next 6 months. All of it combined is probably over $350 for 6 months, so around $700 of diapers in a year. Baby, you wanna play with this? Go. Push. Oh my goodness, baby. Yeah. And this little helmet here costs $4,000. Okay? $4,000 for this tiny helmet, custom made. And it goes on like this. Shoop. Shoop. Oh my. He doesn't like it. Okay. $4,000 for something he doesn't like. When you add this with all the other things such as milk, food, doctor visits, health insurance, and all the other things that come with taking care of a baby, it adds up to a lot, okay? And how much is this? Well, the national average is $233,000 for 17 years. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. 17 years. And what are the chances that my son will stop leeching off of me after 17 years? Almost none. I have no expectation that my son will be self-sufficient after 17 years old. So realistically, I will be spending a lot more than $233,000. But you know what? Let's just calculate it based on $233,000 because that's what we have and that's the national average. Now, obviously, these are just the monetary costs. They don't add in the sleepless nights, the emotional damage, the constant worrying, and the opportunity cost that you give up because you have a baby. Another thing that the article doesn't take into consideration is what if you actually invest your money? What if you invest it into an index, have it grow at 9 to 10% or something for the next 18 years? How much money would you have? Well, like the math guy that I am, I made a spreadsheet about it. So here is how much money you would have if you never had your child and just invest all that money into an index fund. So let's just take my situation. I had my son when I was 31 years old. Let's just round it down because it makes me feel better and the numbers are easier. So let's just say that I had him at 30 years old. And every year, they said that an average of $13,700 per year. Now, saving till, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna be supporting my son until 18 years. That was what they had in the article, but let's be serious. My son is gonna be leeching off of me for way more than 18 years. Realistically, I think I would be supporting him or her until they're 25 or 30. At 18 years old, if I invest $13,700 every year, after 18 years, I would have invested $246,600. $250,000, yeah, pretty much $250,000. And obviously, after that, I don't put any more in for him. Now, let's say that instead of having my son, okay, I don't have my son, and all that money is invested into an index fund. The average growth rate of the S&P 500 since it started was 10.6%. Let's give it a very, very conservative estimate and say it was 9% every year for the next 18 years. After 18 years, I would have $616,752. Over $500,000 if I just invest that money into an index fund. The kicker to this is, let's say that I stop putting money in after 18 years, which, come on, okay? I'm definitely gonna be supporting him after 18 years.
Are your adult children still on the payroll?
Let's just say that I leave it there, right? And then it keeps growing. After 24 years, that would have been $1 million. $1 million. Obviously, if you have the kid, then you don't have $1 million. But if you don't have a kid, then you would. Right? And after 1,000,000, it grows exponentially fast. After 1,000,000, it takes me another 8 years to hit 2,000,000 when I'm after 32 years. After 32 years, I would have $2 million saved up. So if I had it when I was 32 years afterwards, at 62 years old, I would have a very comfortable retirement nesting egg of $2 million. And just to show you guys how comfortable it is, this is gains per year. This is how much interest I would be making every year from my initial investment, from here, from this. So every year at 32 years, I would be making $170,000. And this principle, this amount will never go down. And realistically, after 32 years, $170,000 would be like $80,000 today. Now, if you have a 2-child, instead of $13,000 a year, it would be around $23,000 a year. This is because obviously the second child is not going to cost as much as the first child, and the third child is not going to cost as much as the second child, okay? Because it's hand-me-downs, you share the same room, you share a lot of stuff. So let's say that if you have a 2-child, okay, after 18 years, you would have saved up $1 million. Does that make you want to have a child? Does that make you regret having a child? According to a Pew Research study last year, there are a growing number of adults in America who don't plan to ever having kids. What's more surprising is that birth rates in America actually dropped during the COVID pandemic last year. I thought that since we were in a pandemic and everyone was staying at home, we would get a baby boom just like the baby boomers. But that wasn't the case. The numbers show that the gender fertility rates decreased almost a full point from Q3 of 2020 to Q3 of 2021. A comparison study of 2018 versus 2021 showed that there are a growing number of people saying that they are unlikely to ever have kids. I believe that if you do want to have kids, then there are so many things available to us now that our parents didn't have. But overall, I believe that the main reason why people aren't having kids is just because they don't want to. Millennials these days, they enjoy the freedom, they enjoy their life, but also they are more conscious of medical illnesses, they're more conscious of finances, they're more conscious of raising kids and providing a good home for them. And they might not be ready for those responsibilities, or they might not want to mess up with another child. So they choose not to, which is also okay. 2 Reddit threads sum this up the best. My kid has special needs and has major developmental delays. He's 2 and basically just lives in his own world. Doesn't communicate, doesn't respond to his name, and basically miss every single milestone out there. So you feel regret, despair, and a whole bunch of other negative stuff. Especially guilt. It wasn't his fault he came out into the world this way. He didn't ask to be here, so there's just a lot of complex emotions going on. However bad it makes me feel though, I just kind of wish he didn't exist. I honestly believe if I had never had a kid, particularly as young and alone as I was in a very socially backwards area, I'd have made a lot more of myself. I know, and that could be taken as a self-rationalization for a lack of trying and failures. But I also know how I felt, how I have never bonded with my kid, and how both of our lives could have been a lot better had I either waited to have her or let another couple adopt her like I wanted, but was forced out of the choice. So don't be pressured into having a kid if you don't want to, because you might not only ruin your life, but you could also ruin your kid's life as well. So good luck out there, and see you guys next time. Bye.